Hi, my name is Melissa Rucker. I'm the program coordinator here at Elizabeth Center. I want you to know that we miss you and can't wait to see you soon. Thank you for being a part of our virtual summer program, and I encourage you to always be you.
Let's cover one of the easiest snacks you can make, fruit kebabs. If you have kids, they'll love getting to help. Let's take a look at the ingredients we'll be working with. You'll need a pineapple, oranges, grapes, and strawberries. You'll also need a knife, a cutting board, and some kebab sticks. Before you do anything, make sure you wash all of the fruit first, even if you're not eating the outside part. This way, you won't be dragging any of the bacteria from the outside into the middle of the fruit when you cut into it. Then, all you need to do is cut the fruit and assemble it onto the kebab sticks in whichever way you want. Feel free to switch up the fruits you choose too. Bananas, watermelon, peaches, or pears are other great choices, but feel free to get creative. Not only is this delicious snack easy, it's also a great source of vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants to keep you feeling your best. Vitamins and antioxidants do a lot for your body. They keep your bones strong, can help your eyesight, and boost your immune system and protect you from getting sick. Fiber is good for your digestive system, keeps you feeling full longer, and lowers your risk of chronic diseases. If the goal is to eat at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day, eating one of these kebabs means you've already eaten 1 serving.
Hello Metro Parks friends, I'm so excited to be coming to you today from Warner Park Nature Center. Perhaps you've been here before. Maybe with Pen Pals Camp, People Exploring Nature, maybe with your community center, or perhaps even your school class. We have lots of things going on here at the Nature Center and everything is free. But today I want you to get out your Sir Speedy scavenger hunt because we're going to be visiting the pond, the creek, the field. We're going to be looking for bird nests. We're going to be looking for birds feeding babies. We're going to be looking all over the places that you have visited before, checking off things on our scavenger hunt. Now, don't forget to be a naturalist. Do you remember those things that naturalists do? We're going to walk slowly. We're going to observe closely. We're going to draw what we see, and don't forget to do that when we're finished. Draw what you see and send it to us on Facebook. And most importantly, we're going to go outside. Are you ready to get started? So am I. Let's go. My scavenger hunt has to look for a star-shaped leaf in one of the boxes. So I'm going to check out this tree right here. And I'm noticing that these leaves definitely aren't star-shaped. And as a matter of fact, they feel more like needles. So not this tree. Oh, I got one right here. Let's go over here and check this tree out. All right. Okay. Check this out. Right here is where the leaf attaches to the twig. So I have this peduncle, isn't that a fun word, coming out with a stem. I've got 5 leaflets. That's a compound leaf. Even though it's kind of shaped like a star, it has 5 leaflets. So this definitely isn't my star-shaped leaf. But I've got another tree to check out. Come on over here, follow me. Do you see these leaves? Come closer. These leaves have 5 points. It's definitely star-shaped. And a naturalist shared with me once that the leaves of this tree, when crushed, have a pleasant odor. Oh, I've got a leaf right here on the ground. Let's check it out. Crush it up. It smells like licorice. Wow. Don't forget to mark this off on your Sir Speedy scavenger hunt, and let's move on to our next adventure. This meadow is filled with flowers. And of course, if there are flowers here, that means it's going to be filled with insects. Now let's think about it. How do I know what an insect actually is? Well, it's going to have 6 legs, 3 body parts, 2 antennae, wings, and compound eyes. Why don't we look closely at some of these milkweed plants for some of these characteristics on the insects that we see right here. I spy wings on this insect. Do you see them? I spy 6 legs and 1, 2, 3 body parts. Notice too that this bee has a straw that she's sticking into each one of these flowers. She's using that straw or proboscis to get nectar out of the flowers. Have you noticed too that we're really not that scared of any of the insects here? Think about it. If you were eating a giant pizza, would you really be afraid of anybody walking around you? No. These insects are loving the taste of the sweet nectar of these flowers. One of my favorite things to do with pen pals is to come to the creek and search for critters. The creek is a habitat that's very different from the pond, the forest, or the field. What are the components of habitat? Do you remember? Food, water, shelter, space, and air. Living things from mushrooms to box elder trees to people need all of those things in order to survive. The creek habitat has those components in it. Where could you find shelter in the creek? Where could you find water? I think that we should start looking for some animals that might use these rocks in the creek as shelter. Are you ready? Let's check some out. All right, we've already got something here. This is pretty sweet. This is a salamander larva. Salamanders are different amphibians from frogs. They actually lay their eggs on the bottom of rocks, and the eggs hatch as larvae that spend a lot of time underneath the rock until they're old enough to take care of themselves. Every time I lift a rock in the creek, I'm always going to put it back exactly like I found it. Imagine if somebody came to your house, took the roof off your house, and then laid it back down upside down. I always want to be respectful of wildlife when I'm in the out of doors. That's one of the things a naturalist does. Not only do we go outside, we draw what we see, but we also respect wildlife. Let's see if we can find one more thing in the creek. Friends, I just found something that is calling the creek habitat home that you are so gonna dig. You know how lots of insects, in fact all insects, go through metamorphosis. They might go egg, larva, pupa, adult, like a butterfly, or they might go egg, nymph, adult. That's their life cycle, like a grasshopper. This particular insect larva that I just discovered here underneath this rock is super duper cool. Are you ready? Check this out. Could you describe this to me? What words would you use? Have you thought about what might eat this or what it might use as shelter? Pretty cool insect if you ask me. I'm gonna put it back gently exactly where I found it, and then whoops, upside down, and then carefully replace the rock that I found it under. I think you can definitely say that we found some living things here in the creek. Don't forget to mark it off on your Sir Speedy scavenger hunt. Do you hear what I hear? It's coming from up here. Let's go check it out. Come on. Looks like something up here that reminds me of a bird nest. Oh, check this out. Check this out. I've got see birds hanging out on the nest. And I remember from Pen Pals last year, I was told that these are barn swallows. They nest here in Tennessee and then migrate south to Central and South America to spend the winter because there's nothing in Tennessee for them to eat in the wintertime. Can you guess what they like to eat? Insects. They like to eat mosquitoes and other animals that are down here with you and me. So I love barn swallows. These moms will have babies over and over, maybe as many as 3 clutches of babies in these same nests year after year. So you can mark this off on your Sir Speedy scavenger hunt, birds and babies in a nest. This garden was planted specifically to attract birds. Many birds you're already familiar with, like the red cardinal or the black and white chickadee, but other birds will visit this garden as well. You might notice a house finch getting some sunflower seed, or maybe a robin getting some water from the bird bath. Guys, check it out. On this bird feeder, I spy a woodpecker. You never know what you're going to find when you put out some bird seed. Welcome to the Nature Center garden, friends. Our garden is different from many places that you may have visited because it's an organic garden. We don't put any pesticides or herbicides on anything that you see in here, which means we could find some insects. Did you see some insects just now on the milkweed? I saw bumblebees and other types of, honeybees. All different types of insects hanging out on this milkweed. We could look for evidence of monarch caterpillars as well as other insects here in the garden. And then we can cross it off on our scavenger hunt. Come on. Wow, check this out. Right here on the leaves of this oregano, I spy some round, copper-looking, shiny eggs, maybe insect eggs. They kind of remind me of insect eggs that I've observed in the garden before. Note, though, we had to stop and observe closely to find something so small in the garden. So I have a picture on my scavenger hunt of a tree that shows evidence of birds. And this is the tree that I always think of. Come close. I can see insects moving all over this tree. Do you spy insects? I've even got insects on me all over this tree. But check out, even beyond that, I've got holes. It looks like someone took a drill and drilled into this tree. Guys, it's not a drill at all. This is a specially adapted bird called a woodpecker. Have you heard of a woodpecker before? They have a very long beak that's very strong, a reinforced skull, and a tongue that's actually so long it wraps around their brain. And they could make a hole in the tree and then stick their tongue into the hole over and over. What do you think they're getting? You might think that they're getting sap. This is a maple tree, anyway. But they're actually getting bugs, just like the ants that you see running up and down this tree. So the next time you find a tree like this, look a little bit closer. I bet you'll see evidence of insects and birds. Friends, my scavenger hunt encourages me to come to the Nature Center pond. Come closer to the water with me and let's see what we can find. Come on. Friends, this is the living thing that I just trapped here at the pond. The only tools that I used were a net and my hands. What does this look like? It has a big head and a little skinny tail. I also hear some frogs calling over across the pond. Do you hear that? Pretty sweet. Friends, thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. We miss you here at the Nature Center, and we hope that you can come back soon. In the meantime, what was your favorite thing that we saw today during our scavenger hunt? Did you like those salamander larvae? Or did you like investigating the garden again? All of these things were wonderful to me. Why don't you draw what your favorite thing that you saw was? You can always post it on Facebook, or you can send it to me at wpnc@nashville.gov. That's the Nature Center's email address. We hope to see you soon, and have a great summer.